What do you think Canadian candy is?
Freaking maple syrup.
Okay. Sure.
Welcome back to the
Was this the fourth?
welcome back to the fourth episode of the Candy Shop. And today's guest, we got Nate. Well,
Nate Edwardson.
Nate Edwardson. My bad, Nate.
The reason
That's
we seem a
all
little
right.
tired here is we recorded for literally like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and the recorder died. The battery died, and literally everything we talked about just
30 minutes down the
Didn't say.
drain.
Yeah, but now what we're going to do is we're going to edit it for you guys. So it's actually going to be way more interesting because we can cut out all the boring parts.
Yeah.
And he's just going to ask me those questions. We're going to catch you right back up. It's going to be way more engaging. Our attention's going to be much higher. It's great.
yeah. We'll get right back, right into it. We're all warmed up.
Yep, ready to go.
So
How did all your YouTube... Man, I can't speak right now.
I just
Okay.
interview myself.
question
Yeah,
number
well.
one for Nate here: how did you get into YouTube?
There we go, yes.
What got you started?
So I didn't know anything about YouTube like until about 2017. I was in school full time. I was working full time at a CrossFit gym. I was playing rugby at college. I was doing all these different things. I found YouTube through Casey Neistat. And he was daily vlogging at the time. Actually, it was right towards the end when he finished. I didn't know YouTube more than just like cat videos and epic meal time back then. And like that was, I didn't realize there were people like on the platform who were creating and who were making content consistently, and didn't know channels existed, things like that. And so I found his videos, and there's just something that sparked interest in me. Like I had never been in any of the art classes. I had never been good at music or anything really traditionally creative. But when I saw this daily vlogging format and this documentarian nature of content, it just sparked some like creative expression desire in me. And that was kind of my intro to YouTube. And then I was telling these guys earlier, I just started iPhone iMovie. I made a video every other day for 100 days, and then I daily vlogged for 200 days. And that was my soiree. I got like 5 views a video. They were absolute crap videos, but it created the passion that I now still have for the platform.
Which is super relatable to Colin and I, because we did the exact same thing. We watched Casey Neistat every morning, end of 2015 or something like that.
And then it went until like the end of 2017.
Yeah, because we were there. I think Colin definitely started watching first and was like, "Have you heard of this Casey Neistat guy?" And I was like, "No." And I think I had seen like he did those like popular viral videos. That
Yeah.
like
iPhone's dirty secret and all that kind of stuff.
So
the Nike
I had
commercial.
seen like his Nike one before.
Yep.
But I never, didn't hear about his vlog. And I kind of started from the beginning, even though I was like behind. It inspired both of us to do the same thing. Like we went, I want to say it was like 30 or 40 days. Colin did like 70. There's definitely a whole wave of people inspired by Casey. Like,
Oh, yeah.
In like middle school, I posted like, I think it was like 2006 or something. And I made like prank videos of like when people would click to find like cheat codes for like video games.
Yeah, like GTA.
I would be like GTA underground glitch or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would film like 2 seconds of the screen and then have like me running around my backyard. Like I was like an idiot, middle school.
Legitimate clickbait.
Yeah. And then Colin and I got into like Minecraft world. So Colin has a Minecraft channel called CC Mega Productions, which has over 1 million subs. And he did that before. That was like starting in like 2012, 2011.
Jeez.
Then the Casey thing just sparked a whole new wave of like
For sure.
creators, and it was awesome to see because like we are video guys too, so like to see the passion for like the production of the whole thing, it was just like a whole nother inspiration boost for us. So yeah, it's cool to hear that you're from like that kind of wave too, because
For
that's I've met a bunch of people that have started around that time. And like Peter McKinnon and all those guys, Sarah Dietschy, just that whole world kind of started, I feel like in 2016, 2017. And it's like, hasn't stopped. I just still watch all those people all the time. What was the next step after that?
So after I started making the videos kind of for fun, I was working, like I said, at a CrossFit gym. I got a job offer to go coach kind of like 50% of the time and then run a gym social media. The other 50%, but part of the social media was like I was going to create a YouTube channel for them. We were going to do a podcast, all this kind of stuff. So I had the opportunity to kind of like professionalize content a bit more because unlike you guys, I had no background in video or production.
But you were pretty confident then, because like you were grinding daily, just kind of getting into it, and then you hopped right into that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been short on confidence, that's for sure. Like I'm definitely like I'll figure it out, no problem, like whatever kind of guy. And I mean, it was kind of like, they had nothing. So it's not like I could do worse than nothing. So like anything I was going to make for them was going to be better than what they already had. But yeah, I took it as a learning opportunity. And, while doing that, I learned how to edit in Premiere, and I learned how to shoot with like a bit more legitimate of a camera and all that kind of stuff. But kind of like my like big break came, I was down at a competition in Miami called Wadapalooza, and they're these guys, the Buttery Bros, Heber and Marston, and they directed the like Redeemed and Dominant, all the CrossFit documentaries on Netflix. They directed all that. They used to work for HQ, and they were starting a YouTube channel, and it was just like a cold DM to Heber, who had like hundreds of thousands of followers. And I was just like, hey, I'm gonna be at this place. Like, if you need any help, let me know. And he ended up DMing me back, inviting me to go help them film something that they were doing on the competition floor. And I was telling these guys earlier, I stepped out there with his like whatever, like Sony A7S or some fancy camera, and legitimately he handed it to me like as we're walking out on the competition floor, and I had to film the workout. On my life, I didn't know where the record button was. Like, I didn't know how to press record. So I went to the fans in the stand and I was like, does anybody know where the record button on this thing is? And luckily some guy there was like, yeah, it's right there. And so I was like faking it till you make it for sure. But it was all part of the process. Like I was learning as I went. Kind of worked freelance for other channels for like 6 to 8 months in the CrossFit space, and then kind of had an idea for a series to go off on my own, and did that at the end of 2019, and it kind of took off, and I've been full-time since then, September 2019.
I was going to ask you if you had a different job that you do, or is it just YouTube? When
I first started the channel, my only job was I quit the gym. I was freelancing for these other creators for a few months, and I had some contracts with them or whatever. But when I wanted to start the channel myself, I was like, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. I was like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this, like, and that's it. And so I all in on it. I had never made a cent off YouTube. I wasn't part of the partner program. I had no way to make money. And I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And so I would just like DM like 50 brands a day in the fitness space and try to get brand deals, because I was doing these like videos, kind of like documentarian style videos with athletes. So I would like DM all their sponsors and be like, hey, like, we'll like talk about your product in the video if you sponsor it, and they'd give me like $1,000 or whatever, and then I'd do that. And so I kind of bootstrapped it for the beginning. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of my full-time thing right away. That series took off basically right away, and I was able to kind of work my way in, mainly through brand deals at the beginning, and then later on through AdSense, to make it my full-time thing. And I've been 100% off YouTube since September 2019.
That's impressive. That is a grind.
Yeah, man. It was like, if I wasn't, however old I was, like 25 or 24 at the time, and like, if I had any kind of sense of money, I probably wouldn't have done it that way. But like, I just like, money's never been a motivator for me. I don't care at all. Like, I would make YouTube videos no matter what. And like, so, having $0 in my bank account for like 3 years just didn't bother me. Like, I don't know. You just make it work. Like,
you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah.
When did you start golf?
I swung the club for the first time in August of 2021.
That's recent. That's pretty recent.
It's recent. Well, I was telling these guys, like, it didn't exist where I grew up. Like, I played literally every sport in the book except golf. Nobody I knew played golf. There was no golf teams. I don't think there was a golf course near me. Like, I did not know what golf was until COVID. And then during COVID, I never watched a golf event at whatever. I had a buddy who kind of just like your classic like beer drinking and like go out on the weekend, whatever. And he got into pitch and putts, which are like par 3 courses out in Vancouver, kind of like municipal, whatever. And so he invited me to one of those, and I went out and we played, like me and my wife, him and his wife. And I told these guys, like, literally played 18 holes with him, went back the next day, bought a membership, which was like $80 a month for unlimited. And I think I played there every day for like 2 months straight. I just got so addicted so quick, and then slowly started to work my way up to like executive courses and more full courses. And I've probably been playing like real golf for about 1.5 years, like on like actual 18-hole courses. For the first 6 months, it was just a par 3s, but yeah.
I mean, you must have been pretty good from the rip, because I feel like that's what made me catch the bug. Is like, I mean, not the same story. My dad belonged to a course, and if anything, I disappointed him because I didn't play it very much. Yeah. But took lessons as a kid and whatnot. And then when Luis and I went out in Hawaii, and we
took it a little bit more serious.
We took it a little more serious, and then we played well, and that's when I kind of caught the bug. When I did well, I was like, "Holy cow, it's
fun!
It's fun when you're playing right." You know, like when you're making connection and like putting it where you want to on the green. Like, I wasn't good by any means, but that was when we kind of like caught the bug. Of course, we're so busy with good that we don't play a whole lot. But I feel like from the get go, were you like struggling, or I mean, like you had to have been pretty decent.
No, I was trash, man. It was so. It's funny. Like it's kind of the same thing with YouTube, right? Like I was saying this earlier that like when I was daily vlogging and getting 5 views a video and whatever, like I just had this like internal sense of like I think I can be good at this. Like I think this is something. It's something I'm enjoying, and I think I can be good at this. And it was kind of the same thing with golf. Like right away, like a couple weeks in, I was like, I think I can like actually be pretty good at this. But I was absolute trash at the time. Like there were videos on my CrossFit channel from about that time frame, like I think maybe September or October of 2021. You can go watch, they're public, and I shot like 52 across 9 holes on a par 3 course. So it wasn't even par 36, it was par like 27, and I shot like a 52. My swing's brutal, I'm missing the ball. Like I was absolutely trash at golf.
So, yeah, you're a very confident guy. That's what it is.
I'm a very confident dude.
No, we're good. 50, we're good.
I just like, I don't know, I felt like I could figure it out. And I think for me, like golf, one of my favorite things when I was playing rugby, I was a fly half, and I would take the place kicks and the kicks at goal and stuff. And like, I would love to go out like in the evening after practice and just like kick for like 2 hours at the post and just like, whatever, figure it out. And I knew with golf right away that like, this is an opportunity for me to like just zone in on like, how can I figure this thing out? And it's this perpetual challenge that's physical that, it just checks all the boxes for me. So.
Yeah, dude, I wish we could get out there more, Luis.
Yeah,
just talking about it makes me want to go out.
But this heat, dude, is not gonna let us.
True, it's so hot,
dude. The first day we showed up, we played golf at like 3:30 last Friday. We teed off at 3:30, and I had just flown in, and it was like
it
was crazy, man.
That's gotta be miserable. It's probably like 100 degrees at least.
Yeah. Even at the fan meetup, dude, I was just like,
I was melting at the fan meetup.
Yeah, it was hot.
Plus, we talked about the bus, the AC,
overheating.
Freaking
the generator
at the end, so we were just melting.
Yeah.
But so then you kind of caught the bug. So you caught the bug for golf, and you caught the bug for creativity video stuff. So I feel like, does it not matter to you like the genre? Like I feel like you're kind of happy creating in any, because you went from there, you did the CrossFit stuff, and then now you do golf. So it's like I feel like you're happy just creating stuff. Like
I would say like my creation is always around my interests. You know, like when I was making videos in the CrossFit space, CrossFit was legitimately the thing I was most interested in the world. And then, I was still full-time in the CrossFit channel until, basically like December of this past year. Even when I had started golf, but my passion was slowly starting to shift towards golf. And that's why you see, even on my CrossFit channel, I had tried posting like a couple golf videos, but like it was just so disconnected from the audience that like there's just no way they were going to convert on it. But like, yeah, I think it's part of what led me to starting the golf channel was like my interest had just shifted so much from CrossFit to golf. And I don't think I think I'm kind of the opposite of what you're saying. I don't think I could make videos about anything unless I was 100% passionate about it.
Okay. Also, like, so going into that, so was your like, because you you have your golf channel, and it kind of started during the heat of the drama, which we talked about before this whole thing got erased. But would you say that like your goal is to post, play, like you on the course playing, and then that was like fuel for getting people to your channel? Or is it more of like you want to be kind of a hybrid of both? Like what is the aim?
No, I mean, that's the other thing, man, is like I'm definitely not overly calculated. Like so when I started the golf channel, you were saying earlier, like I even said, like if it wasn't for the fact that Grant was also leaving, I probably wouldn't have made that first video, because the Micah thing was like, we already kind of knew that was happening. He hadn't been in the videos. It wasn't that shocking. But when it was announced that Grant was leaving, I remember watching that video and just being like, what? Like, why? Why would someone who wants to have a presence in the golf creator community leave the biggest entity in the golf creator community? Like, it makes no sense. The bleed off to his channel, like my YouTube brain just malfunctioned, and I was like, this makes no sense. And then I was like, well, if this is like causing this much of a reaction to my brain, I'm sure other people have the same questions. So I was just like, I remember we were walking around the block with our dogs, and like I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, maybe I'll just like post a TikTok or something. So I posted TikTok, and in like 12 hours or 24 hours, I got like 500,000 views. It was just me like literally saying all that, just being like, I don't understand how this is even possible, blah, blah, blah. So then after I saw that, I was like, all right, maybe let's try to do the same thing, but like a little bit longer form in a YouTube video. And so I like started a new channel, 0 subscribers, 0 reviews, posted it. That night I went to bed, it had like 7 views as like a video with, on a channel with 0 subscribers usually would. Woke up the next morning and it was at like 128 views. I was like, oh, all right, that's kind of neat.
Traction.
But I was like, whatever. So I logged out. I went back to my CrossFit channel. I was doing my normal job. I made a CrossFit video there. And then it was still logged in on my like second computer. So that night I went to log out and log back into my CrossFit channel, and I noticed the video was at like 7,000 views. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, what is happening? Like that was more views than I was getting on some of my CrossFit videos. So I was like, what the heck's happening? Woke up the next morning and it was at like 48,000 views. And I was like,
Goodness.
I was like, we've done something here. Like we've done something here.
Yeah.
And the engagement was insane. Like I'd never seen that many comments on a video, whatever. So then I was like, all right, like clearly like me just like giving my thoughts on this whole thing, like is tractioning. So I'm like, let's just keep doing that. So I went gangbusters, like as my personality is. I dove all in, and I think I probably, in that first month, I probably made at least 20 videos. And they kind of just kept snowballing. And, I was doing some subscriber CTAs, and the subscribers kept growing. And in 4 months, the golf channel was bigger by every metric, including subscribers. And my CrossFit channel was in like 4 years. Just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like, and you said that, so that was obviously that would have been end of last year. Mm-hmm. Because I remember you popped onto the scene and like I would see your thumbnails.
Yep.
Because that's another thing I was going to talk about is your thumbnail game is pretty freaking good. Like you know what's going to draw people in. Because like we'll have the guys, we'll be on a trip and be like, oh, did you see Nate's? Like it'll pop up because, like you said, click through is probably pretty high. And like, I mean, like I feel like you just popped onto the scene and then you're making so many videos that it just keeps coming.
Yep.
And
yeah,
so that's
for sure.
Got to be, I mean, do you post daily pretty much?
No, not anymore. I pretty much was. Like I probably for the first 6 months of the golf channel, I'd say I was averaging at least 4 videos a week, if not 5. But yeah, I mean, I've always kind of said once I can get my we're working really hard right now to up the production quality of the videos. But like we talked about before, like my background is in documentary and storytelling, more vlog style stuff. So like the more quality production side of things, I'm still learning. But I genuinely believe if I can get my quality of production up to match my titles and thumbnails, I'll have a really good channel.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure one of my biggest strengths is like the ability to package content. But that's just from years of studying too. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so obsessed with YouTube, and it's much easier to learn to package than it is to create the engaging content. But
now I've seen that you've posted a couple on course videos.
Yep.
And obviously you're signed with Good, which to be frank, we're so busy working on videos. I didn't even know. I just saw your video pop up. I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what that entails. But do you have plans?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much I just want to do what's making me happy every day, And so if I'm not enjoying something, I won't do it. And that's why when I stopped being as passionate about CrossFit, I literally just cold turkey stopped a channel that was my entire life for 4 years, just because I wasn't interested in it anymore, and just literally let the channel die because I'm like, well, this is what I want. And at that time, the golf channel wasn't even really making money, so it's just I fully just jumped ship. So I'm definitely not a set a really detailed plan and stick to it kind of guy. I'm very much just a follow what's interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing I love more in life right now than playing golf. Playing golf and trying to be an athlete in the golf world and training and practicing and playing and trying to be better. That's literally what I want to spend every second of every day doing right now. And so, building the rest of my life around that just makes sense.
Okay.
So I'd say if I was to judge it right now, probably that's part of it. But I also the other thing I love next to golf is YouTube, and those shorter form, more commentary style videos, to me that's just a pure expression of just being able to satisfy that YouTube bug. Because it's I can get an idea in the morning, I can sit down at my computer, I can work on a title, I can work on a thumbnail, I can record it, I can edit it, I can post it, I can see the feedback all in 24 hours. Yeah. It's just the most addicting thing ever, and it gives me so much satisfaction. So I really enjoy making those videos, and obviously my audience, that's where they all came from, is the commentary. So I'm never going to stop doing that. I really like it. But at the same time, you know, my life now is so centered around golf. So what that's going to be, I don't know. Like I always say to people, the channel's still in such an infancy stage, and I've been really blessed to like have the success early on. And like, I think signing with you guys is a huge, it's going to give a lot of opportunities for sure. Both on like to introduce some more of the documentarian style stuff like I did at the meetup and whatever. I really enjoy making that content. People really like that, what I did at the Good Championships. But also, you know, it's just like a bit more of a legit stamp for like, you know, if I'm going on, like right now I'm starting a series where I'm going to try to shoot under par before my 2-year mark of golf. Like I've done it across 9, but I want to do it across 18. And just stuff like that. Like I feel like it kind of like adds a bit more legitimacy to that. Like, oh, this guy's a good athlete. Like, you know, we'll actually like take him seriously in the golf side. But I very much feel like I'm still earning that. And I think it's going to take time. Because there's so many people who are way more, you know, solidly set in the YouTube golf world than me on that side of things. And I definitely have to earn the respect and the views of the audience to bring people over. So it's like a balancing act, but also I love that, man. I love trying to like learn how to intertwine that and how to like, you know, bring people in and whatever.
I like what you said about the YouTube thing. Cause like even this podcast, like it is kind of like what you said. It's much easier to produce. So like you just set up a tripod, camera on a tripod, you start the thing. Hopefully it doesn't stop halfway through.
Yeah.
But you know, it kind of scratches the itch of like you post something, see if it works, you know, do some shorts from it or whatever. And it's just kind of a fun little like side experiment that we're doing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Colin about it last night, and it literally, even like vlogging takes that much more effort of like, I have to go figure out, you know, obviously, you know, we still will vlog here and there and whatnot. And we've even talked about going daily on like a candy shop sort of vlog.
You guys, let me just stop you right there. You guys have to hire more people.
Yeah,
like,
we might die if we do
you
that.
Need, like, you could do so much, but you guys need to be sitting in like an air-conditioned office with your feet up directing people. Like you guys are so past like editing every video yourselves. Like you guys should be the creative directors of Good Productions. And you should have more meat and potatoes.
The things
people.
with like Max and Colin, like they're like, you know, I respect their job and everything because they do like a clean edit. Like
for sure.
Their edits are clean. The things like these guys are like really specific on like their work.
Yeah, so is every creator ever though. It's the hardest thing to as a YouTuber to let go. Trust me, I know.
That's the thing. It's
but
like it's our baby. Like
of course it is.
I mean, like it's everyone's baby. But like we sit there day in and day out. It just feels so like we've had people that come in and like help here and there, and I mean here and there. Like it's probably a total of like over the whole course of 3 years, we've had maybe 8 videos that were like rough cut, not by us.
Yeah,
and then like of those, I think 5 of them were not edited by us.
Yeah.
Which we brought in Ryder and then Shaler, who is here every once in a while working on traces and stuff. So everything else has been Colin and I just sweating because it just like you just feel it. I get it when it's not the same, and like obviously you just have to kind of learn to let go a little bit.
Well, it's not even learn to let go. It's like there are 100% are people who are just as, and don't get me wrong, I think you guys are 2 of the best editors in the golf world or in any YouTube world by a long shot. I firmly believe that.
Thank you.
But I also think it's you 100% there are people who are just as good as you somewhere else that you could bring in and that you could train up in your way. But like, I'm not even saying let go of the edits. What I think is the most ludicrous thing ever is that you guys also film the videos. I think that is beyond insane. To me, the idea, like already like my channel, which is like 1/1000th the size of Good, I have a separate filmer and a separate editor because I think it is torturous to like bring someone out with me and be like, you're going to come out and film all of these 18 holes. You're going to spend 4.5 hours in the sun with me. And then I'm going to go put my feet up and you're going to sit and work for another 8 hours to edit the video. Like, whoosh, whoosh. Like that's nuts. Like,
yeah, when they start to blend is when it gets really nuts. Like, because we're also not the best. Like, and I've said it on a good podcast, I think, to Garrett, like we don't actively try to get too far ahead, which maybe sounds insane. Yeah. But like we kind of want to be in tune. And there's also like ads and things that we want to throw in where it's like, hey, we're dropping this and that or whatever. And it's pretty off the cuff. Like it's like today I'm posting tomorrow, the meetup. Yeah. And we haven't filmed the ad yet. We got to film an ad about pre-fall, or we called it pre-fall, but it's called retro. Yeah. we need to film that. So like we don't get like months ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So the real issue comes when we're like on a trip, like the road trip, and we have to post 3 videos, and then it's like row.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, that's why I'm saying, like, if you guys can like even like just get, because I think,
But I love filming.
well, I'm sure you do, but like I think your videos could be even that much better if you're focused purely in the creative directing and the editing side. Like if you could remove if you're sitting here working while they're out filming, like, you know what I mean? And
For
like
sure.
you're still directing it, you're still having, you know, a Zoom call with all the filmers before the video and being like, this is exactly how we want it done, and they're just executing
It's
it
hard.
for you.
There's also nuance there too, because we're all just. I mean, it's hard to say we're all just friends when it's like
No, I get it. I get it.
good. You know, obviously it's a
Chemistry
business.
vibes. Yeah.
But it is the chemistry that's tough for me. Is like Bubby, me, Garrett, like we're all just like laughing, and I think that adds to the video. So you know, I don't want it to be too clinical when it's like, you know, here's a video guy, he's great. But maybe you're not going to get as loose with him and like say some stuff that's funny that we want to leave in or whatever. So I feel like there's been that juggling act along with the editing, which I think for sure on the editing side, you could find someone who's like knows how to edit something funny, you know?
Sure.
And also with the format of golf content, you have a built-in story with the challenge itself. So like as far as getting creative with an edit, there's a ceiling to like how creative you can even get almost, because then it's like you already have a story built in.
Yeah, it's
like
golf,
the story itself is the, you know, so like I feel like definitely on the editing side, I would rather have someone, you know, do some like, and we've talked about even like maybe do a polished rough cut, we'll call it.
Yeah.
Where it's like you do everything but the opener and we'll do all the graphics.
Dude,
and
even
make a
if they're
thumbnail.
just pulling selects, like I can't imagine you guys going through all the GoPro footage and like, you know what I mean? Like that's like, it just must be so tedious. And like, again, like you guys are the ones with 1 million+ subscribers, not me. So like, I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys know way more about this stuff than I do. I'm just like an outside, just looking in, mainly just like I've gotten to know you and Colin, not Luis as much, but you and Colin pretty well. And like I text that guy all the time where I'm just like, you're crazy that you're like, you haven't slept in like 3 weeks and you're like trying to do all this. Like, I don't know. It seems like you guys are doing a lot.
Yeah, I think we do a lot. I definitely think, I mean, like I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but like it does feel like a lot. Like
feels like a lot.
There's times like, you know, I have a wife, you know, and I'll be getting back like this past whole week. It's been getting back at like 1 or whatever. And there's moments where I'm like, damn, like it would be nice.
Yep.
But there's also moments where most of the time I'm like, this is my baby. This is our baby. I just can't. I got to, you know, I can't let her go.
No, for sure. And I mean, again, like you guys are extremely talented at what you do. Like I even had a hard time letting go with some of my stuff, and like I still do like some of the more vlog style stuff, some of the more documentarian style stuff. Like that's like in my brain, I'm like, I'm the only one that can pull the story from this. Like I'm the only one that's gonna see it the way I want it seen.
Yeah. And it's not that at all for me. I feel like obviously like when Ryder does a cut or someone else does a cut,
Ryder doesn't count. He's like you guys.
Ryder is just like us. But you know, if we have someone else do a cut, I would be able, I feel like, to separate and be like, oh, that's, you know, cool, and it's a different way than what I would have done, but cool. You know, I don't feel like I'd be. That's not the reason. It just there's something about it. I don't know.
Totally.
We
also
just
are
like
also
it. We're just nuts.
Well, and you've only been
honest.
doing it for like 2-3 years. Like that's the crazy part. It's like it's not like you've been around for like 10 years. Like
True.
It's very normal to still be doing it at this stage. I think it's just your scale is where it's not normal.
You mean scales and like
the fact you have millions of subscribers and the business is as big as it is. That's the part that's not normal. By that scale, usually people will have expanded out the team.
Leave or something, or want to have a break.
But you guys just did it so much quicker. Like most people don't get to where you're at until the 10-year mark, you know. And like I guess if you go back and you track Garrett's starting GM golf to the very beginning, like he may have been creating content for close to that now. Yeah. But like, you know, as far as good goes, like this is only year 3. Most channels
new. It feels new to me.
Yeah.
Also, and I will say, I think Rick mentioned that to Colin. He's like, yeah, you guys, he said something about our editors, and Colin's like, it's just me and Max. Yeah. And Rick like laughed, like, you're kidding.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. And that's where I'm coming from, man, is like, I know, like, this isn't necessarily even my brain. This is like the hours I've spent listening to Mr. Beast and all these other people talk about it. It just doesn't seem optimal. I'm not on the inside. I can't see it, but it just doesn't seem optimal.
It's 100% not optimal.
Yeah.
It's just the love of the craft.
Yeah. But I mean, what's pretty cool is like sometimes like if Max has to stay back, like I would have to like I'll fill in for him, or if like Colin has to stay back and like edit, I'll fill in for Colin and just help
Yeah.
out either Max or Colin, which is pretty cool.
And that's like a new thing. Like we kind of like
yeah,
there'll be days where it's like a flex player, like where I'm just like, yeah, there's no way I'm, if we want to upload on time, which even then we don't kill ourselves with the upload schedule.
No.
Which I don't know if people care that much. I mean, obviously we care and we want it to be 3 a week, but there's been times where like there's just no way we'll post 2 this week. It's going to be fine.
I feel like there's like a hilarious subsect of the fans though that are like so attached to the like non-existent upload schedule, because like I'll even get DMs and comments on my channel being like, do you know why they haven't posted this video? Like where's the Scotland video? Where's the Pebble Beach video? I was getting that one forever. Do you know where the Pebble Beach video is? Where's the Pebble Beach video? I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're just lining it up with the Women's Open, I think. Like,
yeah, there'll be a lot of stuff like the old St. Andrews stuff. There's Shaler. Even that is going to be coming out later now because we were there for a college, like with a college
showcase, I think, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Kendrick set it up.
Yeah.
But basically, they kind of wanted us to either go back and film in October or just push our content till October. So we're going to wrap up UK. But the thing that we've been talking about, which is the St. Andrews Major, is going to be coming out later now. So there's stuff like that where we do kind of like, we've gotten, even that is like, as of this year, a newer thing to us. Like it literally the whole, past 2 years has been like just off the cuff. Like we don't even plan videos. Like we go out to the course and say, what does everyone want to do?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's very chill. Bro. And it blows people. Anyone who's like trying to manage us is like, what?
Yeah.
Like you don't have any idea what's going on. Yeah. But it's kind of fun because then like everyone's feeling it in the moment. It's like, oh yeah, let's film a T-flip or whatever. Let's do something that's fun today, or let's do a serious one. And they get into it. That.
I would have thought it was like the title thumbnails are already done.
No.
Then you go to because that's like YouTube handbook. But
oh yeah, no, people make the thumbnail first. They know what they're going into. Like we do not do it that way. We go in there because it's also a group, and
yeah, that's fair.
You don't want like Bubby or someone really wanting something else. I don't know. I guess you could have problems that way too. Yeah. But it's worked. It's worked out. Going back to your stuff, did you? I don't know if this is true. I just want to clarify.
Ooh, all right.
Were you Grant's thumbnail guy for a minute?
No.
Or something? Or did you do a couple?
I kind of consulted with him for a little bit.
Okay, you consulted.
Yeah.
I heard you with Grant's thumbnails. Like, did you do some of his? Because I mean, obviously, you know how to do some pretty damn good thumbnails.
Yeah. No, so when I first started the channel, 2 of the first people that came on were Grant and Micah. And Grant was the first one, and then he kind of was, we were just going back and forth after the interview and talking about YouTube, and I think, both those guys, they're kind of like learning YouTube now, obviously, right? Because like they kind of came up with you guys, and they got like a big following because of you guys, and so they're kind of on their own, and they're learning YouTube now as after the fact, whereas like I obviously learned YouTube in order to get a YouTube following. So yeah, it was just more, I was kind of consulting, not like paid or anything, but I would just like, I don't know, I'm a YouTube nerd. Like I'll talk to people. Dude, I like go on calls with people who literally haven't even started their channels yet and talk to them for an hour. Just like subscribers who are like, hey, I'd love to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, well, all right. And then Rhea gets mad at me because she's like, you're wasting your time. You need to be doing other things with your time.
No, it's not a waste. No,
but I'm just a nerd about it. But yeah,
and Grant's a nerd about it too. Like, and
he is.
He knows that he's a nerd. Now. Like he goes on and on about like every little detail of like thumbnails and
dude things. He's killing it right now. Like he's doing such a good job, and like he definitely, it's because of that YouTube mind. Like, well, he's also a good character, but like he has the mind for it for sure.
He is a hilarious character. Like no matter what.
Yeah.
When you turn on a camera and that man just does something funny, you just know it's gold. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like he's just a goofball through and through. Like in real life, he's a goofball, and on camera, he's a goofball in the nicest way. And but he's also very, strategic and analytical. He like studies Mr. Beast's techniques and things, and like really, really implements them.
You know what's funny is when I was really like deep in the news videos, like the first kind of like 6-ish months of the channel, I would peek on there every once in a while just to see what people were talking about, but not super often.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just curious. see what's going on this Reddit.
Yeah, I don't really get Reddit. Like I the first time I ever opened Reddit was to look at your Reddit.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have an account. I don't use it. No.
I figured you're like the news guy. I feel like you're on Reddit.
I'm like the
Would make sense.
like reaction. Oh, look, there's a clip of me.
You made it on there.
Yeah, it's from my video.
The Where's Corinna stuff.
Did you see that thumbnail?
That was a beautiful thumbnail.
You like that thumbnail? Okay,
That was a
good.
beautiful thumbnail. That popped up.
Yeah,
On my
okay,
like
good.
Recommendation.
That was funny because I was kind of stressing over that one because I was like, usually I make the title thumbnails before the videos. But then a lot of the time in the documentary and stuff, you kind of can't because you don't know what the story is exactly. And yeah, just like, I don't know, like you guys post the meetups and like sometimes and whatever. And so it's like, I don't know how I'm going to make it more interesting or interesting enough to, you know, draw people in than just what you're already going to post about it. But then when that storyline came up, like, dude, like that first hole, someone yelling like Garrett's first putt, just like that Corinna comment, like that was insane. But like more just like, yeah, I was sitting there, I was working on the thumbnail that night and I was like, man, what am I going to do? And then I just like, my buddy who was helping me film Connor, he's like, I have a great clip or a great like shot of Garrett kind of like shaking his head over the putter. And I was like, maybe I can combine that with the sign. And yeah, that one came together nice.
Yeah. That has to be like a 1 out of 10.
That was a 1 out of 10. Yep.
Okay.
Dang.
Yep.
Because that was popping. Well, what is it at right now? Let's look.
It premiered at, and I love when this happens because this means the video is good quality. It premiered at like a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. And then within like 10 hours, it was a 1 out of 10. And now it's like 1 out of 10 by like 10,000 views, which is like unreal for me.
Because I saw that. I'm like, that freaking thumbnail,
Yeah.
dude. Look at that.
I think
can't even.
I think the warehouse one's going to probably go above that too.
You think so?
I think so. The thumbnail, I still haven't made I have a great title for it, but the thumbnail we're gonna have to see. But the quality of the warehouse one is unreal. Like, and that's like the thing we've really been working on a lot. Cause like I was even who was I talking to about this? I was talking to Ryder about this the other day. Cause when's this podcast gonna come out?
Oh, not for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
We filmed one yesterday too.
All right. Well, you might have to bleep this out, but if his video hasn't come out yet, but they filmed a video with Corinna.
Yeah.
And that's coming out, and we were talking about that, and I was like, dude, you got a 1 to 10 in your hands. He's like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna beat Garrett's 65, like break 65. And I was like, it's gonna beat it initially, like it'll premiere at a 1 to 10 because that's the thing is like the more dramatic kind of like clicky stuff will always shoot up high fast, but it will usually fade off a little bit over time, whereas better quality videos will start slower and then pick up sometimes. Obviously, if you pair the two together, then it'll start fast and stay fast. But it always feels good for me now because we're focusing on quality so much when I can tell the video is like climbing because it's good quality. Yeah. Like it has great AVD and it has a solid enough CTR. So yeah, and I think the warehouse one's going to do that for sure. I just have to come up with the thumbnails. So tough. I don't know, like because I'm okay at Photoshop, but I'm not like you guys. Like all those like GG house tour videos, I don't know how to make like a building look like that. You know, so
I mean, whatever you're doing is working. I mean,
I appreciate it.
They definitely draw the eye. Like I said, you came in hot on the scene. And then you just freaking, you were posting all the time. I'm just seeing them pop up left and right. YouTube just knows where to throw them too. So it's like,
yeah,
there they are. I mean, like, of course, like Good's getting all of your videos, recommendations and stuff. But we do have one segment. We typically have candy. We don't have candy today. It is what it is. I was gonna like try to overnight like Canadian candy, try to make it themed.
What do you think Canadian candy is?
Freaking maple syrup.
Okay. Sure.
What is it?
I don't know. You have maple taffy for sure. You have I'm trying to think ketchup chips, but that's not a candy. What else?
Ketchup chips?
Yeah.
That sounds kind of good.
All dressed chips, you know.
I know those.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
Those are really good.
They had like a limited drop of those somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just texting my wife your address, by the way. I'm not being rude.
Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else candy wise. I don't know. You guys definitely have way better candy than we do. Wait, wine gums? You guys have those here?
Never heard of that.
What it does?
Okay, yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Maynard's makes them.
But this other segment we have is like trying to figure out what the clickbait of this video will be.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what we can.
Ooh, all right.
We're trying to figure out the title, like
yeah,
clickbait. Nate Edwardson
Let's see here.
He-
Let's see here. This is my shtick.
Yeah.
I also
This is like-
usually
yeah,
need some
exactly.
time
This
to
is-
think about it.
I feel like you got
All
the brain
right.
for this one.
It's got it. So it's something with me. It's something with good. I think
Yeah.
those are kind of the two things you need to pair for sure. We kind of talked about Grant and Micah, so it could almost be like
Yeah.
Nate Edwardson like gives his honest opinion about love, but no.
The good breakup.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Because the last
Nate
one-
Edwardson says he doesn't like good because at the beginning I was like I didn't like the first video. I thought.
Oh, that might be it.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, because the last one was Chase, who was our Good Labs editor.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't have the title yet, but we talked about like how it's going to be essentially ex Good member tells all or something like that.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
We might even go as far as like making the cutout look like Grant or something.
Yeah.
Off- for the
You
most
could do
clickbait
like
possible.
Nate Edwardson. Well, the problem is that if this comes out too much after it, but like Nate on the like GM Golf Corinna drama or something
Ooh.
like that. Because we did talk about my video on that, like that.
Yeah,
I think
that's-
those three things together with the fact that I had that BTS video, that could work.
I think
Something
that might
along
be.
those
I think
lines.
we got something there.
Yeah,
We're working.
You'll
with something.
figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you for being on this podcast.
No problem.
And also thank you for dealing with our technical difficulties. That was kind of embarrassing,
that
to
was
be honest.
a
No,
pain
it's
in
all
the
good.
ass.
I apologize to everyone listening for my voice because I was telling these guys I got AC sick when we first got here. I haven't been in AC since I was in like high school, and I'm just super congested right now. So I sound sick. I'm not sick, but
Yeah.
apologize
Well,
for that.
thank you again. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to get subscribed. This is a brand new channel, so we have no, we're not even monetizable yet or whatever.
No.
So we're growing, but
We're
get
working on it.
subscribed, give it a like if you like it, and leave us a comment about what you want to see next. And we're learning as we go here. So thank you.
Do you have
guys for
anything
watching.
you can give away? Can we do a giveaway just for subscribing?
Yeah, we can get
All they have to do is be subscribed, and in the next video, you're gonna pick a random subscriber from your recent subscriber list, and they're gonna win what?
Oh,
A 12 pack of the new Good Callaway golf balls. Could we do that?
yeah, TrueViz. Yeah, okay,
There you
we'll
go.
do that.
Yeah, subscribe. All you have to do is be subscribed. Random subscriber is gonna win a pack of the TrueViz. Get sold out. Good Callaway golf balls in the next video. They're gonna announce it.
You heard it here
True.
first, folks.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks again.
No
Did it
problem.
like 5 times.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye bye.